Most Christians know the Old Testament is about Jesus and that he's prophesied in these prophets and in the law and in the historical sections. The Old Law tells us where Jesus would be born, how he would teach, how he would die, and even about his resurrection. However, what might not be as well known to Bible students is that the entire Old Testament, according to Jesus, when read properly, points us to him. Jesus said, "Everything written about me in the law and in the prophets and in the Psalms must be fulfilled." After his resurrection, Jesus taught his disciples how to read the Old Testament correctly. And you know, when the Old Testament is read properly, when there's consideration for its original context, it gives us a deep and rich meaning. But also when it's read with an eye looking beyond itself, we find its ultimate fulfillment in Jesus. Reading and understanding the Old Covenant helps us to see all that Jesus did for us. He fulfilled the law we never could fulfill. He's the sin offering that keeps us from being tied to the sacrificial system described in the book of Leviticus. But his fulfillment of those things does not make them unimportant. It does mean, however, that we should read and study them. And as we do so, we'll have a deeper love for him in view of all he's accomplished for us. It's impossible to read the Old Covenant in light of the cross and maintain a small view of Jesus. If you only read the New Testament, you can still fall in love with Jesus. However, if you read the Old Testament with the knowledge of Jesus, your love for him will deepen and grow. So where do you start? Where should we start? There are several different ways you can get into the Old Covenant and enjoy it. You could read in Genesis and go all the way straight through to Malachi. You could spend some time in the 150 Psalms, which are the poetry and prayer books of Israel. You could read the historical sections and see the failings of God's people and yet God's faithfulness to them. Regardless, wherever you start, just begin. Find a method that works for you. Read the Old Testament and let it lead you to its ultimate fulfillment in our Savior, Jesus Christ himself.